Hey everyone, today we're digging into Elon Musk's blueprint for the future, and this comes straight from a recent conversation he had with a bunch of aspiring Indian entrepreneurs. So if you're a builder or just curious about where we're all headed, this one's definitely for you.
All right, let's just start with a massive question, okay? What is the meaning of life? Now, that sounds super abstract, I know, but for Elon Musk, this isn't just some late-night philosophical thought. It is the fundamental question that drives literally everything he builds.
So let's dive into that. For Musk, his whole technological vision, we're talking everything from spaceships to social media, it all starts right here, with this one single core philosophical question.
So where does this idea even come from? You might be surprised. It's from the sci-fi novel The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. In the book, a supercomputer figures out the answer to life, the universe, and everything is 42. The only problem, nobody knew what the actual question was. And for Musk, that's the whole point. He thinks humanity's goal isn't really to find the answer, but to expand our collective consciousness so we can start asking better questions. Okay, so you've got this super abstract idea, right? How do you actually do something with it? Well, for Musk, the tool to expand our consciousness is X. He doesn't just see it as another social media app. No, he sees it as a platform for creating a global collective consciousness.
And this slide, wow, it really lays out his thinking perfectly. He's not trying to build just another platform to scroll through. He puts his vision for X, this global town square, right up against what he calls dopamine-generating brain rot. You know, those platforms that just give you quick hits but don't really offer much substance.
So, what does he actually mean by collective consciousness? He uses this really powerful analogy. Think about it. Trillions of individual cells in your body all cooperate to form you, a single conscious human. Well, he believes that billions of connected humans with really high-quality information flowing between us can form a kind of planetary consciousness, one that's capable of achieving truly incredible things.
And here's where it all clicks into place with a perfect practical example. As he puts it, he couldn't build a spaceship all by himself. No way! It takes a whole collection of humans, a massive collective effort. And the better the information flows between them, the more amazing things they can achieve.
So, okay, if a group of humans can build spaceships now, what happens when you add incredibly powerful AI and robotics into the mix? This is where the conversation took a turn into some really provocative territory that could fundamentally change what it even means to be human.
Less than 20 years. That's it. That's the time frame Musk gives for this next massive, society-altering shift. It's really soon.
Get ready for this one. Working will be optional. Yeah. Musk is predicting that AI and robotics are moving so quickly that we're heading towards an age of what he calls abundance. A future of universal high income, which is basically a system where everyone gets a regular income, no strings attached, allowing them to have pretty much any good or service they could want.
And look, he knows exactly how wild this prediction sounds. He literally says people can play this back in 20 years and say, look, Elon made this ridiculous prediction, but he is completely confident it's going to turn out to be true.
I mean, this just opens up a flood of massive questions, doesn't it? If work is no longer at the center of our lives, how do we find meaning? What happens to our society when the whole idea of earning a living just goes away? We'd have to rethink the very rules that our whole world is built on.
And all of this brings us to what might be the single most critical question of our time. How do we make absolutely sure that this AI-driven future is a good one?
For Musk, the key is to build AI on a very specific foundation of core principles. He argues that AI has to be programmed with the relentless pursuit of truth, a deep appreciation for beauty, and a fundamental sense of curiosity. That's how we ensure it stays aligned with the best interests of humanity.
And if you think a world without mandatory work is a big change, get this. In this kind of future, Musk speculates that money itself, money, might just become obsolete. I mean, why? Because money is just an information system we use to manage resources and labor. If goods and services are truly abundant, what's the point of it?
Okay, so let's bring this incredible far-out vision all the way back down to Earth. Because in the middle of all these grand predictions, Musk had some very direct, very practical advice for all the aspiring entrepreneurs who were listening. And it all comes down to this. His number one piece of advice, the absolute non-negotiable principle, is incredibly simple. Just make useful products and services. That's it.
This slide here really gets to the heart of the mindset shift he's pushing for. Don't chase money. That's the wrong way to go about it. Instead, focus all your energy on creating real value for other people, for society. If you do that successfully, he says, the money will just come as a natural result.
And finally, he left everyone with a dose of that classic Musk realism. You know, even as we're talking about a future where work might be optional, building that future right now is anything but. He was crystal clear. If you want your startup to succeed, you absolutely have to put in the serious hours. There's just no shortcut.
So, we end up right back where we began, with a really big question. If Musk is right, if we're actually heading for a future of true abundance where nobody has to work, what will give us our sense of meaning? In a future like that, what will be your purpose?